and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. I'm your host and spiritual teacher, Tamara Caulder Richardson, and I'm a 6-time near-death experiencer, as well as international evidential medium and Christ channeler. And welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and make sure you click the bell so you can get all the episode alerts. Now, I do have Wisdom Wednesdays and Wednesdays at 1 and Thursdays 5 p.m. I have a spiritual guest, usually an experiencer of some type. So welcome, and I'm excited about our topic today, and that would be 5 ways to handle a parasitic worm. Now, if you haven't seen the first part, please watch the first part where I do show you how how to detect a parasitic energy, and I call it leech in the first one, and there's reasons I do that. But I want you to go ahead and check that out because it's going to really help you understand this better. So watch that first part, the other episode that is how to detect it. And today is about how to handle it. I'm going to do a little review though, not the whole thing. You'll have to watch the first one, how to detect it. It's really good. But I do want to go over a couple definitions about what is this parasitic energy worm and how to handle it. Now, first, really quickly, this is just a quick review. Spiritual energy, your spiritual energy is your prana or chi. Everyone has it. Some people have more. Why do they have more? People that are higher tone, get things done, they have more. People that are really depressed and mopey and they have less. So, and I want to cover some things and I'll tie it in. A parasite is an organism that derives its nutrients from another species. That's not good, is it? And so that's who we're talking about today, this kind of thing, parasitic attachment, okay, energetic attachment. And this, so a parasite can also be known as a person who habitually exploits other people and gives nothing in return. To me, they kind of go together, so energetically they're using you and don't give anything in return. Now, I'm going to briefly go over leech, but leech is basically a blood-sucking parasite. It's a particular parasite. And they leech, you've also heard the expression, they leech off the kindness of others. So, but today, when I talk about handling a parasitic energy worm, I'm using the word worm for a reason. So a lot of these are interchangeable. Parasitic, yes. Leech worm, they're very similar. Worm is someone who burrows into others, burrows into like animals, and they are also known as a worm. It's also known as a weak, despicable person who likes to penetrate or invade someone's space. And I'm also talking about that. So why do these people, what do they want? Why are they trying to drain your energy? Well, as I said earlier, usually these people are victims. They're not able to accomplish that much. They complain, but they usually have a reason. Well, that's why I'm like this, but they don't have enough energy. And so they want yours. The other thing is they don't like seeing people win in life and happy. And so they do that by complaining. And as they complain and talk and talk and talk, which makes you just want to start crying, as they're doing that, they suck the life out of you. And I gave the example in the first episode of that TV show with the vampires, Colin Robinson, the energy vampire. They'll literally suck the life out of you. So they have to do it repeatedly so they can get fed. They're feeding off of you. And so they have to do it daily, weekly. So I don't know if the communications in person, email, text, could be all of them. I don't know. But there's usually a lot of communication with that. So they're trying to stay connected. When they feel you pull them back, they'll come up with some crazy story, with emotional story and urgent, or a reason to pull you back. I need some help with something because they got to bring you back in to upset you again, to start feeding off of you. So you can feel it energetically. The first part, I tell you how to detect it, but this part, I want to talk about how to handle it and what it leaves you. If it's not handled, the positive person that's very capable is now not positive, and they're not capable. They're exhausted, they're tired, they may have headaches, they feel completely drained and fatigued. Sometimes at first they may not know why. And even advanced stages, it could lead into health problems and depression. Headaches is pretty general to come with this because they are messing with your head. But so headaches, and you'll start not being able to finish your task because these people are needy and you don't really understand because they may just send you 3 emails a day, but you don't really see them. I'm just using an example. But is what they're doing is they're pulling your energy because they have already attached energy, their energetic cords into you. So they can actually drain you while you're asleep. So you want to uninvite that invitation. So let me go over the 5 ways to handle a parasitic energy worm. And I have to laugh about it. The image I used for this was, remember Dune and the 2 guys on the worm, and they would jump on there and click on, and they would go, I know the new Dune was pretty cool too, but that's exactly what it is. You got to take control. You got to harness this worm, because this worm will be out of control. And you go, oh, that little weak worm, it's not going to hurt me. Yes, that little weak worm. That's how they do it. They're very sneaky, these little worms. So the first one is, when they're around you, they like to bum you out, because remember, they don't want you to be positive. So they're going to, oh, woe is a story. They're a victim, but they're going to be negative. They're going to even say something negative. Well, you don't know that. They're going to be negative, or like, well, I didn't feel good about that, or I didn't like that movie, whatever. So only acknowledge the positive communications. And I'm giving you 5 handlings, how to handle these parasitic leeches and worms, these wormy, weak, leechy, blood-sucking. You got to laugh, but it's the truth. So how to handle this in a gradient. So how I'm presenting it to you is, if this doesn't work when you get to 5, this is what you got to do. Okay. If you want to be intact and not lose your mind and be able to have your energy back. So the only acknowledge the positive communications and ignore negative comments. That's number 1. And by the way, all these are going to be at the end of the video. So make sure I am putting lists together. People had asked me, so I'm putting a list at the end. So you can pause it, print it out, whatever you need to do, or take a picture of it. Okay. Number 2, limit your time and energy with these leeches and control the conversation to keep it positive. You really want to be more, I'm going to say, socially positive. What does that mean? You don't want to get in their business. That's the whole point. You want to get out of their beeswax. You're like, well, whatever you decide. Well, I don't know. That's up to you. You want to say, how's it going? How was your day? Well, it wasn't good. Okay, well, thanks. And then move on. You need to keep it positive. You need to control it, because they'll start draining you energetically again. Number 3, handle any derogatory and really direct derogatory comments. So this is the first part. So handle any direct derogatory comments. This is number 3. Would mean, well, I don't know why they gave you a raise. I mean, I do the same thing you do. Okay. So that you're like, you know what? I'm worth it. And they must have thought so too. So I got it. See ya. What is it? Talk to the hen. 2 snaps. I don't know. Anyway, you have to hold your own, because it kind of sneaks up on you, because they seem all victim-y, and then all of a sudden they're like alpha turning you down, and just rude. So you want to handle it like, well, I blah, blah, blah. Sorry you feel, I hate you feel that way, but apparently they thought well of me. So handle it. And doesn't even have to be a big handling, just a small handling, like, well, thank you, but I disagree. But some type of handling. If not, you're going to have problems with your throat chakra. You're going to start shutting down. Then you need some energy alignment thing that's even worse than what you got. Okay. So you want to set boundaries when you start hearing these derogatory remarks, and they will come. Okay. Because there's jealousy, severe jealousy that they're not you. It's going to come. So you want to set boundaries when needed, and it could be all communications or some communications. You will know what to do. Okay. Could be you're working all day. You don't want to see them anymore. Oh, here comes the emails, or they want to talk to you on the phone. You're like, So number 4, if the above has not helped, and it's not going to help, but this way you're sure you've got a parasitic wormy leech on your hands. Oh, wait, blood-sucking wormy leech on your hands. This is what you know at this point, right? If this hasn't handled, you want to avoid, and that's capital AVOID, avoid being around these people and having any communications with them at all. So if you do communicate, you have to. Maybe they're a family member, whatever. I don't know why you would need to, or a business worker, coworker. You just put a little lag in there. Okay? Don't be accessible, okay? Because that's what they want, that constant, regular, somehow tie with you so they can drain you. All right. So number 5, this is the big one. Finally, you want to stop all communications. You want to block them. You want to block all forms of communications because it's a very negative situation. They're takers, you're the giver, you're the blood donor. And, this is about you taking control of your energy, your life, loving yourself, loving your family and your friends to be there for them. So you don't need to say, I'm stopping all communications. You don't, that's your decision. In this world, you can choose to communicate with or whom you want to. That's up to you. That's a great thing. That's so wonderful about being grown. You can just like pick your people. You can pick, people you want to be around. And if they don't support you and encourage you, make you feel happier or support what you're doing in life, and you walk away feeling happy and even better, and maybe you're both raised in energy, then, what's the point? I think it's important to be of service, but there's so many good people out there that would be very appreciative of you helping them, not someone who just takes, and then you're left on your gas tank on empty. So I do want to take it to this degree here with this. Please know that if needed, you might have to contact the authorities, because if you keep getting unwanted forced communications, negative communications, you may need to report for your own safety. So I always tell people, keep a record of harassing communications for proof of stalking or harassment. And I had that happen. It was 3 years. It was someone, they went through every email I did, wrote me all the time. Then they would go through other people, and then I would block them. They would get other emails to cut. It was just a mess. So finally I got threats, got mad. I wouldn't talk to them. I got mad. And this was just a business person that I did something with. I won't go into who it is because it's not important, but I had to call the authorities, and I was actually recommended to do that. I was like, really? And so I talked to a policeman and he said, let me read some of the letters. I was like, really? I was like, okay. So I kept it, luckily. And he goes, yeah, this isn't good. No, we need to put a stop to this. And this is his profession. So just saying, it, hopefully it won't get to that point, but just always have that in the back of your mind. So these are the 5 ways to handle yourself, to handle you and your time, so you can get away from these energy worms or leeches. It's just a form of being aware and protecting your energy and your sanity. So I hope this has really helped you. And if you have enjoyed this, please make sure you see on my Wisdom Wednesdays, my gaslighting series is phenomenal. It's several of them. It's free. It's amazing. Speaking of free, it takes a lot of moolah to run this channel and a lot of my time. I mean, it's not unusual to spend 72 to 82 hours a week producing this channel, writing these, and then my guest and producing, and then Photoshop and first frames and promotion. I spent a couple hours promoting each one, and it is a lot of work. So and a lot of technical, responsibilities, finances, and so forth that come with it. So I would really appreciate if you would consider, even if it's a one-time donation, donating to the channel is below in the description, or becoming a channel member. As little as $2.99 all the way to $24.99, where I have my love leaders meet once a month for 90 minutes to 2 hours, where I give intuitive spiritual life coaching, and they love it. I have great people there, wonderful people. So look, much love to you. Stay tuned for next week with Wisdom Wednesday at 1 p.m. and watch tomorrow, Thursday at 5 p.m., my guest experiencer, where I have an interview, and I always have something very interesting, and it's always a lot of fun too. So take care, and thank you all so much, and much love, and thanks for supporting, liking, and making comments. Bye. Love you. Please subscribe, like, and make comments, and support this channel by becoming a member. Thank you for your continued support.